How's it going there, guys? James here from Butler Farms, out here on a beautiful day. You can see it right there behind me. Just trying to get some stuff done, caught up around here, some projects that I've been putting off, some because of the heat. I know it may say fall on the calendar, but guys, it was cool this morning when I first went out about daylight. But I can tell you, even though that good breeze is behind me, which is a blessing, it is still summertime hot here in Alabama. So we're still pushing the low 90s, but got to get some things done. You know, one thing about doing what we do, you can't wait till the last minute. Most of us in this space don't have a lot of extra money. We can just go out and buy things when we need it. We have to plan ahead and have to prepare now for what's coming in a few months, and so that's where we are today. Now, just to briefly answer a few questions, I mentioned in a former video and in a short that I'd injured myself, and that's one reason I'm playing catch up now. Just wanted to bring you up to date on that. A lot of people have been asking me specifically what happened, and you know, it's not like I'm worried about giving out my medical condition, but just stupidity will get you hurt sometimes. I was out here grilling for my family. We use just regular natural charcoal, and when I spread my charcoal out, I didn't realize that I had flipped one out in the yard. And I love to walk around barefooted late in the afternoon in the yard, and that's what I was doing. And walked right by the grill, stepped right on a live piece of charcoal that was laying there in the grass. Never saw it, wasn't smoking, wasn't any of that. And I stepped right on it, and to say the least, it stuck on there. And so you can imagine what happened next. It blistered up, it burned a hole in the bottom of my foot, and I finally had to go get it treated and go on some pretty heavy antibiotics, because as you know, guys, if you injure your foot, that's one of the hardest places to heal. It heals slowly, a lot of opportunity for infection and things like that. And I'm one that I don't take a lot of medications. I don't take antibiotics, you know, when I've got the flu or something like that, because to me that makes no sense. But I did in this case, simply because of how deep and how large that burn was. And so it was a rough couple of weeks. I still went to work every day, and by the end of the day I was so sore and hurting so bad that I didn't feel like doing anything outside. So that's why you hadn't seen a lot of me, and that's why I'm so far behind. But it's a lot better. If you saw it, it doesn't look a lot better, but it is a lot better. I can wear a regular shoe, I can walk on it, it's not giving me any more pain, no infection, so it's on the mend. It's just going to take a while, as any of you that have ever dealt with burns know. That's a long, drawn-out process, especially where it is right in the center of the bottom of my foot. So, you know, it is what it is. So thank you all for asking about it, and you know, I've had a lot of people say they were thinking about me and praying for me, even though they didn't really know what was going on. You know, everybody here's fine. It was just a stupid accident on my part, and you know, I've learned my lesson. Next time I grill, I'll have shoes on and walk around barefooted at a different time. But anyway, let's get to what we're doing today. Now, in several of my videos, I've been telling you the trials and tribulations I've been having with my compost. When it was right up here above me, I never had any problems. I didn't have animals in it, and I had a big enough pile that it could stay piled up real well all the time. Well, since I moved it on down here to where I am now, to kind of get it away from the driveway, to make the boss lady a little bit happier, I have had non-stop issues with it. Mainly something has been in here strolling my compost pile around and things like that. And it's just been a mess. I repile it, it wouldn't keep its shape. I didn't have enough in it. It could not get hot enough, and then as soon as I could get it piled up, and it would start heating up a little bit, even though it wasn't getting hot enough, as soon as it would start heating up a little bit, here comes some animal strolling everything all over the woods. And so you would have cardboard and everything else that I've put in it strewn all over the woods. It looked a mess. It was a mess. So I had to figure out something. I came across a guy that teaches some courses on compost and stuff like that every once in a while, and I watched him. His name is Noah Sanders. If I'm not mistaken, he's from right here in Alabama as well. But he's an author. He's kind of a compost guru, homesteader kind of person, and an author. I think one of his books is called Born Again Dirt or something like that. He does have a YouTube channel, and it's slipping my mind right now. I haven't spent a lot of time on it. I saw him do a presentation for a homesteading group. Is where I found him, and I really liked his idea of, instead of having this big rounded pile like I did with the wood chips up here, he keeps it in a cube, and that way it's evenly heated. You don't have a lot of heat right in the center, but then it's cool on the sides. If you keep it about 3 to 4 feet worth of cube, it will keep its heat, and it will break down faster. And he also showed a way of being able to move that compost back and forth, which seems so easy. Now, you saw me make the round fencing thing. Well, I tried that, and when I set it up, it was just too small. So I made one that was a little bit bigger, and then it was too flimsy. So I had to come up with something else. What he did, and I'll let you go find his stuff, but he put up posts, and between those posts, he had a cube. And I don't guess where he has it. He has the same animal issues I have here. Just to kind of give you an idea right here, I know this is not what's doing it, but look at there, guys. This is literally 25 feet off my driveway where a deer's in here rubbing his antlers on here. So we have wildlife close. So I don't know what's doing this, and you've heard the story about that. So I got to thinking about his idea, and one thing, I'm not going to go buy anything. I'm not going to go, put a lot of money into this. But one thing I'm blessed with is a lot of T-post. Our family land where we hunt and things like that, a lot of that used to be pasture. It's grown back up into mixed woods, and there's fence rows in there, and some of them, obviously older ones, were made out of wood. These were made out of T-post. And so, during the middle of the day in hunting season, when I have nothing else to do, I walk through the woods, cut the barbed wire off of it. I've got a T-post puller. Not only do I have a driver, I have a puller, and I take that with me, and I may get 8 or 10 that trip, and so I've got a pile of them up there. So I got T-post, and then I got to thinking, well, the T-post would make a square, but what's going to keep it in the cube, and what's going to keep the animals out of it? Well, another thing that I'm blessed with is pallets. So I went up behind my shop, and I started looking through the wood pallets, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that crop of wood pallets is about had it. I need to put them on the tractor and get them down in the gully. They're not. It would be a waste of my time, and they're so incredibly heavy. These aren't just regular pallets. These are solid pallets. So I didn't want to lug them around. But one thing I do have, let me get you turned around, is I was gifted a bunch of these plastic pallets, and somebody said, well, I'm just going to throw them away. Do you want them? I said, absolutely, I want them. And so they've been stacked behind my shed. Obviously, they don't rot. They don't have the same issues as with the wood pallets. And my plan for these was that at some point when I built my new chicken coop, this was going to be my flooring. And of course, I was going to cover the top inside, and this was going to be my flooring in my new chicken coop, and it still can be. I still have a few up there, and by the time I get back around to having chickens, I could pull these down and find some other solution here. But what this does is, you can see that I've got my T-post there, and nothing special about that. I didn't even drive them far in the ground because I'm in the woods, and I think I found everywhere that I tried to put a T-post, I'm pretty sure I found a rock. But it doesn't have to be. These are not load bearing, so all the T-posts are doing is keeping this from being pushed back, and it's got enough stability to do that. And then around here, I've just got the T-post tied with a little twine that I use around the house and stuff, and that keeps it from going that way. So what we end up having, this is the old compost that used to be right over there that the animals kept getting in, and you can see that there's still sticks in it, there's still cardboard in it because they kept strolling it around. But one thing I was encouraged by is some of it is already getting pretty close, and when I turn that pile over and put it in here, that wonderful compost smell is what I smelled. And so it is breaking down, but it is nowhere near ready. It's got some big stuff down in the bottom still, but you can see what size cube I'm going to end up with. Now these pallets are 40 inches long, this way. He recommended 4 feet. This is what I had, so 40 inches, you know, we're just 8 inches short, but that's going to be a pretty good size pile. And when I get it up here to the top, it's going to be about 3.5 feet high. It will be, you know, it'll have good consistent heat all the way through. The other thing I like about it is all the holes in these plastic pallets. It'll let oxygen in and those kind of things. But the one thing that I like is, you can see it's on 4 sides. I'm going to tie this up here in just a moment so that it won't fall off. But here's my thinking on this. When it gets time to flip it, I will take this front piece off, and it's just as easy as moving these around just like this. Okay, see where I'm going here? And all I have to do is untie that side, bring that one around, bring that one into the front, and now I've got a whole new cube. And so when I move it over, I've got 4 walls. The animals can't get in. They can't tear up my compost pile, and I can just keep moving it back and forth. My water source is right up the hill, right up there. I'd have to run a hose pipe down here, but I do have a water source. It's with the color of these from our driveway, you can't even hardly see them, so that makes Mama happy. And I've got it, the actual opening toward the woods, so that is not a distraction either. But I think this is going to work. I think this answers a lot of questions that I had. It's not pretty. It doesn't have to be. Guys, you're making compost, okay? This is not sitting out in your front yard. This is on the back, you know, where we go into the woods back here behind us. And you know, the only people that's going to see this is me when I come turn the pile. Now, my next big issue is being able to source materials, okay? I do have a source from a commercial lunchroom. They save me vegetable cuttings, fruit cuttings. It's not organic stuff, obviously. It's government stuff. But they do give me the scraps. They give me the apples that are going bad. They give me, you know, whatever they're cutting. Lettuce that's starting to turn. All of that is stuff that goes in this compost pile. So I finally got that back on track. So I should be able to start sourcing some of my greens. Here in the next few months, I'm going to have plenty of browns with all these leaves that you see around us, these big oaks behind us and stuff like that. What I generally do is run the lawnmower over them and turn them to the inside and pile them up, and then I'll load them up in the bucket of the tractor, and I'll have plenty of browns. And I'm not going to really have a separate leaf mold pile this year. I'm going to put them all here. I'm going to pour the greens to them and have some compost come spring. Now, one thing I am going to do is make sure that I have enough to have a pile. Instead of just adding greens to it over and over and over, I'm gonna make it once and then barely feed it. From there, I'm gonna let it break down. I'm gonna flip it, and then I'll start another one. So I'm gonna have to start sourcing and putting back some supplies. Another thing that I have in abundance is people that, you know, I work around and am around some places that have cardboard recycling trailers. And it's just a plain brown cardboard, and I know some people have different opinions about that, but guys, it breaks down beautifully, and it makes, you know, it makes good mulch. It has never caused a problem in my garden with my plants. I don't use like colorful cardboard or shiny cardboard or waxed cardboard or any of that. Just plain brown cardboard. That's what I put in here, and I use that a lot for browns. I chop it up into pieces and mix it in with the greens, and that's where I am. So maybe, just maybe, we've gotten the answer to this. We'll see. I mean, it may not work, but I'm getting ready to take this piece right here and put it back here on the front. Use that string to tie it up. That's just going to sit there. It may start heating up just in that little pile right there. Now that the animals can't get to it, it's high enough it may do it. But I'm getting ready. Next week, they're going to start saving those vegetable and fruit scraps for me. I've got leaves already falling. I've got cardboard everywhere ready to go. So I think we're ready to make some compost. And Lord knows we need it around here, because with the amount of stuff that we have to put compost around, it would be great if I could have a 4-foot cube about 5 different times before winter. I know that's not going to happen, but wishful thinking, you know. But again, I didn't buy a single thing. These are recycled T-posts. These are free pallets that were getting ready to go in the garbage. They were actually headed toward a construction dumpster. When I asked the guy about them, he said, yeah, I mean, do you want them? I said, absolutely, I want them. You know, just leftover cardboard, leftover fruit scraps and stuff. We don't produce enough here to have enough greens to do it. So you know, having a source like that, like a grocery store, like a commercial kitchen or a school kitchen that's willing to do that for you, it pays dividends. So I'm gonna leave it right there. Got more projects to do. Got to get down there in the garden and get it cleaned up. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I know I hadn't been on a lot here lately, but I'm healed up and ready to go, so more videos are coming. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button at the end. That really does help. And tell a friend, bring them along for the journey as well. And until next time, God bless you. We love you. This is James from Butler Farms, and we'll be seeing you.